All right, all right. Hello, everybody. We are live again. Let me check on. Let me refresh this. We're live again. This should be live stream number 2. All right, live stream number 2. All right, it is Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas. Christmas Eve, everybody. We are building a plane that we can use to chase after Santa. Well, would you look at that? The generator was not even connected. Strange. Okay, so we had that. What was the issue that we had last time? Oh yeah, it's still pitching too far down. Still pitching too far down. It seems to like the static value that we enter, but it's still pitching too far down. So let's see if we can figure this out through the microcontroller. So what was I using? I was using a thingammy jiggery doohickey McBob memory register. Yeah, memory register. And we could use the value to store. I guess it's the same. It's the same thing, really. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. The keypad is the same thing. Okay. Is it this value? These are the up and down values, right? I could change them to 1 and 1. And all that means is that it's going to pitch up at 1 and pitch down at 1. And the plane's going to go meow, 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 meow. So if we want the plane to go down, we need a negative number. That's this number here. Right now, this is far too strong. Far too strong. And if we want the plane to go up, that's a positive number. And right now, it's not strong enough. It's not strong enough. So let's reverse these numbers. Let's update that. Now, the other thing that might not be strong enough either, that probably doesn't matter. So this constant value is just to help the plane maintain a little bit. So rather than the rudder sitting at 0, the rudder sits above 0. So we're going to have that constant urge, hopefully, the constant urge to go up applied to the plane at all times. I don't know. I just thought, hey, maybe that'll help, right? So we'll just hop in the cockpit here. Oh, we don't want to touch the rudder. I don't even think that works anymore. It's almost... Don't need to turn on the generator right now. We'll do that. We don't need the alt hold right now. I'll turn that on when I'm in the air, but let's set it to, I don't know. Let's set it to 1,000 so we can play around a little bit here. See if we can get up to 1,000. Yeah, so when it comes to Stormworks and building, pretty much, this is pretty much what testing looks like. Start and stop, right? Thought I was to the point where I could run missions with it, but I just don't think we'll be able to run missions with this guy. Like I say, which is fine, but it can be used for, let's say, there's a mission across the map that I want to get to. So I can use this jet plane to fly across the map, land somewhere, spawn a boat, and away we go, right? Future stuff. And I think we needed just a little bit more weight in the back. We'll see. Yeah, just a little bit of weight in the back. Let's take care of that. Let's see if we can balance that a little bit here. Honestly, I'm quite surprised. I thought maybe the generator would have been enough. Let's save that there. All right. And we got some oil spills and stuff to clean up. So my hope, I think I'm kind of at a crossroads. If I get heavy aircraft, we can fly the sea helicopter, which I really want to do. Because it can land in the water and it can do everything that this thing can't do. That I want the plane to do, but the plane just won't be able to do it. Not this one anyways. Yeah. It will, yeah, the sea helicopter is just, it's designed for that, to go out to those missions. It may not have the distance really in it, but it's, you know, it's pretty good. And then I say that because there's a couple more missions I want to run, and then we need to buy a port. We really need a port so I can launch a large ship, so I can sail way out into the middle of nowhere and clean up these oil spills. That's kind of the priority now, is that as the vehicles become more complicated, right, we're using them a lot more, and I'm consuming a lot of fuel. Like, I used up almost all my diesel already just getting out to the mine and setting up, and I still need to do another run of 10,000 units, which is what I'm waiting for now, to be satisfied to where I can maybe do 2 cycles before I need more fuel. It's really intensive. So my hope was to drain the one rig and go to the next one and go to the next one. But, you know, the way it's producing, what do you do in the meantime, right? Rescue missions. So yeah, so I'm at the crossroads. Do I go for heavy aircraft? Or do I, you know, go somewhere else? Oh, here we go. A little bit too much weight in the back. A little bit too much weight in the back. Let's try that again. Now, the other glitch I noticed with the workbenches, it's important if you're doing what I'm doing, or you're testing and you're constantly loading and loading, eventually your creation will fall through the workbench and it won't be accessible anymore. So make sure you have a backup save. Make sure you have a backup save. It happens to me lots, and then what will happen is you lose the fuel and you lose the money, and then the ship is in the workspace, so it counts towards your vehicle limit. I don't know what the vehicle limit is. I never checked. It's just all those things that are annoying. All right, brakes. All right, now we just wait. Just ships are the same way. Drop it in the water. How does it sit? Pick it up, add some weight. Drop it in the water. How does it sit? I tend to add weight to the inside of the ship versus the outside. And planes are probably a little bit similar. Ships, the wider you are, the more stable you are in the water, right? So, but airplanes, I don't really have much experience building airplanes. So I thought, okay, let's build an airplane. Right, I've dabbled a little bit, but I never really got into it. I built that space plane. You know, but big aircraft are easy. The little aircraft are hard. These guys are hard to build. And then I want to build a jet plane also. I still want to take this technology and build a fighter jet. But the jet engines would be in the center of the plane in the back here, where they would pivot. It's going to look cool. Oh yeah, look at that. We're almost completely balanced. Maybe like within a weight block. All right, that wasn't working. Okay, so I would say probably there. Right, so what I'll do is every once in a while, I'll just exit the workbench without the vehicle, and I'll save the game just so that way I can make sure I have a safe save to use. Or I'll save the game like I have a save file where the vehicle isn't spawned into the world, and I will just I'll just reload that. All right, let's test it again. Look at that. Now that's pretty cool. I could accept that. Maybe just I knew it was I should have taken off 2 weight blocks, but you never know. Let's try that. That was pretty slick. I'd like it to not go back. Like, it's the thrust, right? It's the thrust that we're fighting here. The thrust is causing the airplane to bank backwards. So if we leave just a little bit of weight on the front, it'll be enough to kind of hold the plane. But nothing's ever quite, you know. Nothing's ever quite there, and that's because each weight block is 10. 10 pounds or whatever. So that's our limit. So, I mean, whatever their limit is when the game's processing its physics, you may never be able to find that equal range because you're within 10 pounds. So, but I think we're close. So, if I could get it to go forward just a little bit, I'd be happier with that than versus backwards. And then what I might need to do is lower my threshold, my altitude threshold for when the motors pivot. Which it seems like it might be a little bit lower now, right? As we calibrate the system and we bring numbers, the bigger numbers that we were using become smaller and smaller as we refine our calibration. I'd use the PIDs, but I don't really understand how they work. I've tried, and I've watched YouTube examples of how PIDs work, and I don't know. I just can't get the calibration of them correctly. It's either too much or not enough. I can never dial it in. Right, so the minute it starts to tip, I'll take a look at the altitude and we'll see how close we are, because I set it to 65. Maybe I need to set it to 55. Or 45 while it's still lifting off. See, that's pretty good. It's slightly leaning forward, which is even better. Ah, there we go. Look at that. Yeah, it looks like... Oops. All right, so it looks like... No, was it... Which one was it? This one here. No, it's not in this one here. Uh-oh. Okay, so that's connected to there. So that one goes to there. Connects through to there. Alright, so that's the threshold gate for that. Okay, so I've got it set to 60. Maybe we need to set it to 50. We'll try that. No. Spawn that in. Alright, do all the usual blah blah blahs. See if this helps dial everything in. That constant whirring in the, if you can hear that whirring in the background, that's just my pooter screaming. Ah! I think I'll watch the live stream after this and just see where it sucks, where I can improve it. Oh, are we lifting off? We lift off. We gotta lift off. We're on our aircraft carrier. We're getting ready to go rescue some people, transport some sick people. Oh yeah, that works. That works actually. 50. So I could probably do 40 or 45. And that transition would be even smoother. Nice. So now we'll test our altitude hold. Let's go up to like 1,000 if we can even get up there. Sun's going down. Start to level out a little bit here as we come closer to our altitude. So it was designed more in this in mind, right? So you get your altitude, whatever you want your altitude hold to be close to 1,000, let's say. Turn it on, it should work now. This, I just don't understand why we're going down. Oh, there we go. Now it's catching on. Right, so you see, so when you're using this type of system, you can't be really close to the ground, because it's really hard to dial it in, right? And if the wind changes or something and it blows you, you'll just crash. So you really have to have like a high altitude, you know, during flight, and then when you're getting close to wherever you're landing, then you can turn it, unless you're manually piloting. But if you're autopiloting, unfortunately, this is the way it goes. But as you can see, it appears to be working. No, it doesn't. Look how low we're getting. So, have to dial back, going down. Yeah, see, all it's doing is now it's getting further and further away from its... It's getting further and further away from its target. So, okay, so the next... So then what we'll do is, the next type of system we can have is just a tilt system. That's all. A real simple system. This is what I have in the big jet. It's easier to calibrate because it's based off the tilt of the plane rather than an altitude. So this will give me a chance to show, I guess, on the stream how to set up the tilt sensors. Yeah, once again, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. Having a good time. Cooked a bird, cooked a 10-pound turkey this year. You know, I've done some big turkeys over the years, but that one takes the cake. I thought, you know what, it's a turkey. No biggie, no biggie. Let me add it. I took that thing out, man, oh man. It looks big, and like my oven is small. It barely fit in there. Barely fit in there. I thought, oh boy. Oh, she tastes so delicious. I tell ya. All right, what was I saying? Oh yes, okay. So before I got distracted by the turkey, we're gonna rip out this here. We're gonna replace it with a button, and this is just gonna be our stability control, and our stability control is gonna go into our pitch, and our pitch is actually going to be controlled in here. So our pitch, that is our pitch coming in. Let's get rid of that so we don't get confused. So we'll delete that because we don't need that anymore. All right, which means we don't need this constant number. Probably still need the altitude input, I think. And do we need the pitch? We need the pitch output. We don't need this, and we don't need this. We probably don't need the altitude node anymore, actually. No, we could probably get rid of that on this microcontroller. Okay, so all we have here, let's see, let's get rid of this here, move this down. Get rid of this. Move this over here. What do we have here? We have our pitch. So let's update this. Okay, and then what we want to do is we need a tilt sensor. All right, and then how does the plane sit? Like that. So we need a tilt sensor here, and then we need a display. Like this, and then we can do this here. All right, needs a backlight, and the number will be whatever the tilt is. Okay, it's going to be a positive number or it's going to be a negative number. So then the easiest way to know which way is which, I'm going to change those two, actually. Oops. All right, that's the easiest way. Right, now the plane is tilting forwards. See what the display says. I can probably even see it through the window. It says positive. See that? Positive 0.1. Look at the lean on a 0.1 pitch on the plane. That's pretty, for an aircraft, that's pretty steep. Pretty steep. Okay. So positive is down. And negative is up. So then what we do is we go back into our microcontroller. I think it was this one. We go back into the microcontroller, which should be colored and all that cool stuff. Yeah, right. And so what we want is our... Oh, we do need an input. Actually, we need an input. This needs to be a number input, and this needs to be our pitch. All right, then we'll need to update that, and then we need to take pitch from the tilt sensor, and we need to go to our input pitch, and then we can get rid of this screen. All right. All right, back to the micro thingy. Yeah, okay. So we have our pitch. So our pitch comes in. We need a constant number, 1, 2, probably 3. We're going to need some number switches, and we're going to need an input on this as well. This is going to be our pitch stable. All right. Okay. We could even... So there's two ways to do this. We can have a single value. So once you reach an altitude, you turn it on, and you're constantly at whatever that is, 0001, 0001. I'm wondering what would be... Do we even set it up this way? Or do I just put in another throttle? And just have the throttle... All right. Okay, so pitch comes in. This is our tilt number. Nah, we'll do this. Okay, so greater than. Come on. This is YouTube, right? Greater than, less than. Okay, so I guess we don't need this input. Let's get rid of this here. I'm back and forth. Pitch comes in, greater than. Pitch comes in, less than. So this is our tilt. If our tilt is constant number 1, constant number -1, all right? If our tilt is greater than, it should even just be, it could even be 0, you know that? If it's greater than 0, then we take our number switch, and we could say, I don't know, go up. And then we have our number switch here, and we can say if you're less than 0, we need another constant number. Oops. If you're less than 0, go down. It's pretty much that simple. And this is our on value for that. And then our off value is what's that, 0? Do we want our off value to be 0? Or do we want it to be like maybe 0.001? So this is like as soon as it starts to tip and it goes above +0, it's going to react. And then as soon as it tips and it goes below -0, it's going to react. And then here we determine how we want it to react. Do we want it to react strongly, or do we want it to react not so strongly? So this is where we'll have to dial it in, right? So you saw with the tilt at a 0-1 was a pretty extreme tilt. So we could say 0-1, and we could say, this one has to be a positive number. We could say 0.001. is all we want the rudder to move. And then we can check to see if that's sufficient. If that's sufficient enough to make it move. And then we just go to another number switch. And we'll turn this to the active value. So make that the active value. Make that the inactive value. Done. And that's as simple as that. So if we update that, and I don't think we have to modify anything. If we push the button, it should stabilize. So we'll save it again. That's the second easiest way to do it. And then that way it's not based on altitude. It's just based on the plane tilting down and up. And it's a lot easier to control if you have the correct speed. You can control how the plane goes up and down. I was able to do it on the big plane that I can't wait to fly. It was what I settled on, and I figured, you know what, I'll test it on this little guy, and I tested it, as you saw, for a long time. That's what I do. I test it for a very long time. Yeah, I test it over and over and over again to see what works. And if it fails, I'll try it again and again and again, and I'll get it to fail in different ways until I can get a semi-positive result. And then once I get a positive result, I'll try and chase that positive result as far as I can go. And then, okay, I have to be satisfied with that, right? So like I say, the plane flies good. If you take manual control over it, there's no issues in how it flies. My goal here is to try and develop enough technology that it flies by itself, right? And where did I get the concept? Well, when I built the big spaceship and I went to the moon, I learned a lot doing that. A lot. And I thought, okay, well, let's see if we can build a little plane then, you know? The helicopter's cool, but it's slow. The helicopter's so slow. And I mean, when you have to cross the map in a ship, it's like 30 minutes to get out somewhere. So my thing is when I'm in career mode and I'm grinding missions, there's only a couple of missions that I like to grind. It's the military base missions and the C4 missions. The C4 missions, you're guaranteed 6 almost every time. So with the cost increases. What is that? That's 18,000 every time you do the mission. So that makes up for the fuel costs. Oh, here we go. We're taking off. Yeah, I'll have to set it to like 45. All right. So we could be cruising here. Let's see. Let's stabilize it here. See how it does at low altitude. We'll just turn that on. And now it should just be going up and down, up and down, up and down. There we go. Kind of holding at 214. See that? Now the up and down, that's how I have the rudder set up. So I have to adjust that because that motion is causing us to lose altitude. Oh, we might crash into this. Hold on a second here. Evasive maneuvers. Oh, smash! No way. Something went on there. I tried to make the rudder go up, but it didn't. Oh, because I had it in. I have to check that too. A bit of a delay. Right, so now all we have to do is dial in the rudder so it doesn't turn up and down. That was pretty steep. I don't know why it was so sharp. I'll have to check the values and see what's going on here. Right, so in the tanker, you turn this stabilizer on and it'll fly. It'll maintain that altitude basically forever, even though it's going up and down, up and down, up and down. I just have it dialed in just, you know, but of course, if a storm blows in, you know, you have to either go above it or whatever. You still have to do what you got to do as a pilot. But it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool. So let's see. Something wasn't getting through here. It's this number here. And this number here. Yeah. 0. What did I do here? And then we wanted... -0, -0. That was working. Okay, that was throwing the switches. So this number here... Oh, was this going to be the... These are our two values here, on and off. Up and down. So this was way too much, obviously. So let's turn that to 0.3, and let's turn this one to -0.3. I still think that's going to be too sharp. Let's turn it to 1. Let's try that. Let's try 1, and that might just be enough to... That might be enough, right? We'll dial it right down. Oops, I dial it right down, and then we'll slowly increase it. Slowly increase it. It's Christmas Eve, right? What else are we doing here on Christmas Eve? Eating turkey, opening up presents, drinking coffee, watching YouTubes. Watching YouTubes. Holy, okay. Systems on. Stabilize, light. VTOL mode. Brakes are on. All that stuff's on. Okay. Right, now we gotta wait. We gotta wait till we launch. Test it. Launch, test it. Launch and test it. What? I'll be very, very satisfied if I can get this thing to really just work. You know, it could pretty much land anywhere. If you slow down enough and you're careful in this little plane, you can pretty much land anywhere. It's that takeoff that kind of, you know, or vice versa, I guess. Well, I thought I'd try. I see a lot of VTOLs around, different ones. So, right, so with the small engines, you don't get RPS. Once we upgrade to the medium jet engines, we get RPS. And then I can change these to propellers. And then once they're propellers, I can have the a gyro stabilizer. And then I don't have to worry about this pitch stuff when I'm taking off. The gyro stabilizer will control it. And then I can slowly land and slowly take off, and I can do alt hold on it. So that was kind of like the next step, right? I wasn't sure if I could get there with this little plane. Yeah, because I need those medium engines, right? Or whatever. And then I just don't know if I have a rotor. Like if it'll be too big. So that's the next step. Even after all this testing, I'm still talking about doing the next step, huh? All right, so we can take this altitude here of, what are we at, 212 or whatever. We'll go alt hold on. Should be pretty consistent. See, we're slowly losing altitude. And we're about to crash into a plane again, into a mountain again. So that's the up value. The 0.1 is insufficient, so we might have to increase that to 0.2 or 0.3. All right, this is pretty easy. This is easy calibrating this stuff here. It'll go down. You have enough speed, it'll go down, no problem. But it just doesn't want it to go back up. So you always need a little bit more to get it to go up. But if you overcompensate, then but it just has to go up enough that it doesn't lose altitude. It just stays there, skipping along, right? Down, up, down, up, down, up. So we'll try 0.3. That might be a bit much. You might have to dial it back to 0.2. What's this number here? Try 3. Yeah, it's either I go with the fan option, or we try and upgrade to medium engines. If we upgrade to medium engines, I don't need the generator on board. I don't know. There's a few options, right? There's a few avenues from here on forward. I think for me, the easiest thing would be try and get a fan on the front and the rear on the bottom that can balance, and then I can just hover with the jet engines hovering. I think that'd be pretty cool. Oh, and I'll change the altitude lower. I'll lower it to 45. Threshold. Yeah, at about 40, starts to tip. Excuse me. All right, let's gain a little bit more altitude this time. Try not to crash into a mountain. There we go. Now it's doing what it's supposed to do. See, it's bouncing up and down, bouncing up and down. So now what we need to check is, are we maintaining a steady altitude or we're slowly dropping? We are slowly dropping. See, it flies pretty good. It maintains its altitude quite nicely. Oh well, I'll just have to keep working at it. Eventually I'll get it, I'm sure. That's fine. I'm not disappointed at all. This is the funnest little thing I've ever built, so I'm not disappointed at all. Altitude hold, it's really more of a helicopter thing than it is an airplane thing. Like I say, the next best thing I can do is I can add a throttle for the rear rudder. And I can just set it at whatever, so it just sits there, right? Because in order for it to maintain, it needs to be a little bit. Oh, that's all right. Like I say, I'm totally okay with it. Nice. All right, holds up well. Good little Coast Guard plane. Doesn't want to turn, though. Must be the wind. Yeah, definitely the wind. That's okay. We'll turn this way then. I think the little base is down here. I think it's down here. I'm not sure. Right, so this is why I want the airports. So I can start playing around with these airplanes. I was hoping to sell fuel, but it appears that people are able to sell fuel, but they're not getting any money for it. So unfortunately, it's going to be mission running right now. It's still the best avenue. But I think with the amount of money that they're paying to do the missions, you should be able to keep up to your fuel costs now, so long as you're buying diesel and you're going that route, and then try and get oil as fast as possible. But this is cool. I'd like to put in a little gimbal camera or something. Yeah, there's the oil rig. Do a flyby. It's producing for us. I'll have to check on it. It's been a while. Right, need an airstrip so I can take off and land. And have fun with these planes. It's okay to take off and land here in the desert, but the terrain is really up and down. So, really up and down. Just burning fuel. Let's see if we can. Let's see if I can come back and land. Let's see if I can turn around here and we'll attempt a landing at the starter base. Oh, they're all right. I would hate to have an ambulance on Christmas Eve. Yeah, like I say, it flies. It flies really, really good. It flies really, really good. Stays in the air, tracks well. No, this might not be the... I have it stabilized, that's why it's not pitching. Oh boy. Oh boy. And it's still in VTOL mode. So here, I'll tell you, I'll take it out of VTOL mode here. Slow this up a little bit. Try and land right here. Let's see, I wonder if I can. Oh, I can't. It's too late. It's too late. It's too late. It's too late. Oh no! 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 Adjust! Adjust! Oh no! It's too late! Oh no! Oh. Oh, we're losing fuel. Try and get this repaired. Alright, that was not damaged. I gotta get this wheel repaired so it'll break. Come on! Why isn't it breaking? Oh, the brakes button's broken. That's weird. It shouldn't be rolling still. Stop rolling, Blaine. Why is it still rolling? We're not losing fuel anymore. That's good. Brakes don't seem to want to work. can't steer the... Look at my steering yet? No, no steering. Okay, as long as there's no steering, we're still broken up front. All right. That's so strange. It shouldn't be... See if we can repair all this here and then limp back to base. So still practicing takeoff and landing. Gonna take a little bit, I think, to hone that in. I hope there isn't like hidden damage inside that's can't get to. It's damage to brakes. Well, that should be it. Let's see, am I able to steer? Nope, too far away. Oh, I'll have to load. I have to load that one. That's all right. Right. So if I had a landing strip, I'm not saying that I would have made that landing. I just feel like, you know, with more of a landing strip, I'd have a. So that's the next goal here. Probably do a couple more missions, get a landing strip, and then go from there. Really. On the other side of the island, there's a landing strip and a big port. I think there's a rail yard too, all mixed into one. So maybe I'll it's only 80,000 to buy that one. Maybe that's the one we'll pick up here. The thing is, I don't really have the cash, right? So, and with the all right, so we didn't do too bad. Up and down thing, well, it's the up and down thing, whatever. I can figure something else out for that. Right, so that's pretty much it for this little guy. This is about as good as it's going to get for now until we get medium engines and I'm able to build another one. Yeah, so thanks for watching the live stream. Coming up, we'll definitely make some more. I'll have to make some more live streams here. All right, let's save this. Maybe I will check on the rig here. show you where we're at for fuel. Only 24,000 diesel. And starting to burn through the jet fuel now. But I had 90,000 and 90,000. Let's see. I want to take that truck. This truck has turned out to be surprisingly fast. We'll take an oldie. We'll take a classic. Oh boy, game is having troubles. This one's already, is it preset? Oh, yeah, it's preset, this one. All right, so we'll check on the rig, and then, yeah, I think I'll end the live stream there. Take a little break, get some water. And then I'm actually going to watch one of the streams just to see how it turned out. I haven't done the live streams yet. This is number 2. So yeah, if there's any improvements I can make, put them in the comments, and I'll do my best. These old diesels, they're not the same. The diesel electric truck is amazingly fast. And these twin steers, they can carry a lot. They're just not, they don't have the speed, and they're very cumbersome crossing the terrain. This is my favorite part of Stormworks. But the vehicle goes slow enough that it's almost like it's like a still frame, right? Am I actually going somewhere? Yeah, we're going somewhere. Yeah, we'll check on the rig, and then, like I said, I'll take a break. I'm going to get some more turkey, actually. Refill my coffee. Enjoy my Christmas. Merry Christmas, everybody. Hopefully your Christmas Eve is going well. Got your whatever you're doing. Christmas wobblies, whatever they are. Video games and coffee. That's what it is for me. Right, I'll have to check on the channel before I leave here. Because I guess there's a stream on, like, I'm using Streamlabs, so there's a stream through the Streamlabs, and then there's the stream feed on YouTube. So I don't know if the chat is just the chat on YouTube, and if I can pick it up through Streamlabs. I don't know how that works. Like I say, second time ever doing the live. Figured I'd check it out, see what it's all about. Looks pretty good. I could set it up so you guys can chat, and it'll come up on the screen and that, right? Like to set that up, so I don't have to tab out or nothing. I can get your comments and blah blah blahs. Yeah. No, I don't know if you guys, probably guys and gals, probably have your traditions for Christmas. We have our usually, it's waffles with cinnamon, whoa, and a little bit of sugar and syrup. That's Christmas Day breakfast waffles with strawberries and whipped cream and all that. So hopefully tomorrow, Christmas Day, you're gonna have yourselves a wonderful meal. Whatever that is, wherever that is, however that is. Oh, there it is. The lights are on. Right, so if it's full, it'll just continue to burn diesel. So you want to check on these things periodically. This will be batch number 4 of 30,000. So that'll be 120,000 of each jet fuel and diesel that I've been able to get from this rig since we tapped the hole, which I think is impressive. The other one that I got, I think we did double that. So I'm hoping to get close to 200,000 if I can. And that should give me enough. I should have enough money by then to be able to plant another drill and plant another one. It's 100,000, right? That took a huge chunk of my starter budget. It's 100,000, so I don't really have the funds to. Oh, I thought there was a mission there. It was close. Yeah, and when we go to plant the second one, we're going to add a little more technology to it. The radio, so I can check the value that's in the bins from across the map within 20 kilometers. That kind of stuff, the cool stuff, right? We'll add a little, the cranes, yeah, it turns out I really didn't need them. So I'm going to rip those out, and I'm actually going to put like a little, like a break room in there in an office, and maybe a helicopter pad on the backside where the cranes are. And I'll expand the storage. The diesel and the jet fuel and the oil storage capacity. I'm going to expand it. I guess I had a different theory about how all this was going to work when I set it up. And now that I set it up and I've used it, my theories have changed. It doesn't matter whether the oil is in the ground. You're better off sucking out all the oil and pumping it as much as you can into the tanks to store it, refining as much as you can, so that way you're not needlessly consuming fuel refining it. Yeah, and then the slurry in the water didn't need that much. That should have been my storage tanks for the diesel and the jet fuel. We'll do that. The next one, they'll be nice and tall. All right. Put that on. And we're almost full again. We're full of jet fuel, so what I'll do is I'll unplug this. Wow, and then there's probably enough oil. Oh yeah, for even more batches. So there's another full batch ready to go. Very cool, very happy with the whole setup. All right, well, thank you so much for watching the stream. You guys are awesome. Yeah, you know, I'll take a break, get set up here, and maybe I'll go live again for another little bit. We'll see what happens. Yeah, thanks. Well, then what we'll do is we'll probably drain this or something. I don't know. We'll see. We'll figure something out. But yeah, thanks for watching. Merry Christmas. All that good stuff. And we will see you in the next one. Bye for now.